Hello, Kukomi here, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Fire Red. Now, the first thing you notice is that I'm playing on the Game Boy Advance, or the GB player for the GameCube, Game Boy player for the GameCube. Good job repeating everything, me. And that is because, for any eagle-eyed viewer or anyone who's following this series as it is uploading, you're probably going to notice an interesting disparity in upload dates. So, here's the story. I actually recorded the second episode shortly after the first one, and then when I went to edit it, I noticed that the emulator, even during the recording, I noticed the emulator I was using was lagging behind. I wanted to record off console, so I had an emulator set up on my Wii, and that just didn't work. And I also lost a lot of motivation, things happened, but I am here with a way to record off my GameCube. And because of that, I could record on emulator for better quality, and I can record off my Wii U specifically, because I have a really good, I have RetroArch on there, which is really good quality. But I chose this because my policy is that I want to record off console and legitimate hardware if I can. And I can. The other thing is, well, one, I made the window green, and that's also because I changed my starter. I decided my entire team before I even recorded the first episode, but I decided to go back at it, look at it a little, thought about it some more, and change a few things around. And one of the things is that I chose Bulbasaur instead of Squirtle. I'm so sorry, Squirtle. I know many online playthroughs don't use you, but man, I still feel bad. I'm so sorry, Squirtle. I promise one day I'll make it up to you. And you're probably wondering, well, what did I nickname my Bulbasaur? Well, I decided to go with something based on its Japanese name, Fushigi-dane. And also, I believe this trend follows with its evolutions, Fushigi-Sol Soul, I believe, Fushigi-Sol, and Fushigi-Bana. And that's basically, Fushigi-dane is literally the Japanese saying, or a way in Japanese saying, it's strange, isn't it? So I thought the best thing to nickname my Bulbasaur would be a question mark. Behold, question mark, the Bulbasaur, or I'm not sure what to call Bulbasaur exactly. Do I call him a question mark? Do I just say Bulbasaur? Do I just sound really confused whenever I call him out? He has a hardy nature, which I believe does not favor or hinder any stat. And yeah. He is a good Bulbasaur. He won me the first battle. And that's really all the big changes so far. Sorry that took a few minutes. But without further ado, we can now explore the new town we reach, Viridian City. So let's start by talking to you. I saw you walking around. Oh, excuse me, come here. Those Pokeballs at your waist. You have Pokemon, don't you? I only have one Pokeball, and it only has one Pokemon. Like, look, do you want me to open up my bag and show you? I can. Oh, and I guess for anyone who's really curious, here's my new trainer ID. Very uniform and easy to remember. I think my last trainer ID had every digit as a different number. You want to know about the two kinds of caterpillar Pokemon? Sure, I'll humor you. Caterpie has no poison, but Weedle does! Watch that your Pokemon aren't stabbed by Weedle's poison sting! Sorry, when they use like all caps for names and moves, I feel the need to yell it out. We don't need to heal or go check on anything, but we can go visit this house. Even if it is a bit slower, slow-paced gameplay, I do kind of want to just go visit and talk to everyone just to sort of show the world. I'm trying to memorize all my notes. Okay, be sure to read what's on the blackboard carefully. I believe this teaches you about status ailments? Yep. So we have sleep, poison, paralysis, frozen, and burn. We can just talk about each of them. Most of them will either... Poison, sleep stops you from moving for a few turns. Poison will take away damage slowly over time. Burn does as well, but also lowers your attack. And if you're thinking that poison just sounds like a worse burn, there's actually a different type of poison called badly poison, which actually exponentially increases how much damage you take each turn. Fun stuff. Freeze also prevents you from moving for a few turns, but it's a little less reliable than sleep. And paralysis is probably the most annoying thing. It's essentially a random chance every turn to not move, and doesn't go away after a few turns unless you heal it. We have an old man passed out on the road. I absolutely forbid you from going through here. This is private property. Oh, Grandpa, don't be so mean. I'm sorry, he hasn't had his coffee yet. And I believe if you try to walk past them, he says the same thing. And because he, like, literally, what is he going to do? Like, he's lying on the ground, and, you know, oh yeah, he hasn't had coffee. I think he had a little too much, coffee. Put that in quotes last night. What do you say? Coming up with nicknames is fun, but it's not so easy to do. Understatement of the century. I'm the person who will literally just stare at a Pokemon, and, like, think, oh my god, what am I gonna nickname it? What am I gonna nickname it? And I agree, I really like clever nicknames. That's why I'm also gonna ask for help from you guys in the comments with my nicknaming. When we do get extra party members, but we're not quite there yet. My daddy loves Pokemon too! And that is oh, it's Speary! To tweet! But unfortunately, there's not really anything we can do there. We can go west, but I want to go visit the mart. Why? Well, because it's for story progression, that's why. Hey, you know Professor Oak, right? His order came in. Can I get you to take it to him? And with that, we received Oak's parcel. And what do you say? I've got to buy some potions! You never know when your Pokemon will need quick healing. And you? This shop does good business in antidotes, I've heard. Yeah, I can, as someone who's played this game before, I can totally understand why. Speedrunners probably agree. Well, actually, speedrunners wouldn't have the time to stop here and get antidotes. They would just be on their way. With that, we can, well, head back to, Pallet Town. And what's nice is, the NPC here last time brought this up, that there are ledges. And yes, I actually did remember I talked to that NPC despite the massive difference in recording dates. We can use it to jump down quickly. We can't climb up these ledges. No, God forbid. They're probably not even that high, but nah. I always thought it would be cool if there was a way to sort of go up the ledges. There is a way in one Pokemon game, but that's a bit off topic. I don't think I've actually... yeah, I think I talked to this guy in the last recording, though I don't remember. And yeah, I didn't talk to him in this game file. But we have arrived back at Pallet Town. We have finished our journey already. So yeah, that was a great Let's Play. Oh, Kukomi, how is my old Pokemon? Well, it seems to be growing more attached to you. You must be talented as a Pokemon trainer. What's that? You have something for me? Ah, it's the custom Pokeball. I had it on order. Thank you. Gramps. I almost forgot. What did you call me for? Oh, right. I have a request for you two. On the desk there is my invention, the Pokédex. It automatically records data on Pokemon you've seen or caught. It's a high-tech encyclopedia. Nothing happened. I totally didn't just knock over my pop filter on accident. Nope, not at all. Yeah, it was. It's because it's a high-tech encyclopedia. It's so amazing. My pop filter was in such awe of this high-tech encyclopedia. Don't mind me while I plug my headphones back in. No, I'm not stalling for time whatsoever. Kukomi and leave. Take these with you. With that, we get the Pokédex from Prof. Oak. You can't get detailed data on Pokemon by just seeing them. You must catch them to obtain complete data. So here are some tools for catching wild Pokemon. And with that, we get 5 Pokeballs. Yes, go 10-year-old kids. Well, actually, I believe canonically they're 11. Go 11-year-old kids. Go into the wild and shove wild animals into balls so you can study them. That was my dream. But I'm too old. I can't get the job done. So I want you two to fulfill my dream for me. Get moving, you two. Yes, live out my dream. I shall live it vicariously through you. I mean, this is really heartwarming, and then I'm not making it heartwarming at all. And Leaf talks about, sorry if I was going a bit faster to text there. Leaf talked about a town map, and I believe this guy? No? You're not going to stop me? Am I thinking of a different game? I'm thinking of a different game where the aid stops you as you leave the lab. I've been thinking of Gold and Silver, actually. But if we go talk to Leaf's sister, Grandpa asked you to run an errand? Gee, that's lazy of him. Here, this will help you. And with that, we have received a town map. It will be put into our key items, which we can register to pull up quickly. With the select button. And it's a map of the entire region. We can see all the towns there are, any sort of points of interests. Really, less points of interest and more like landmarks of interest. Because I can tell you there's a lot more points of interest than what are on here in the map. And, well, it doesn't become immediately clear. Because the way he says it, it makes it sound like that your goal... Seriously. Yeah, my capture card does that occasionally. Ugh. Oak makes it sound like your goal is to go catch as many Pokemon as you can, and that's what increases, or that's what progresses the story, but that's not actually the case. That's not what you're going to need. In fact, you don't need to catch that many Pokemon. Oh, come on, capture card, don't do this to me now. It seems to do it occasionally and then just stop. It happened the last time I tried recording with it. And I would like to continue on with another thing I've introduced in this series, Pokemon Bios, where I will go over each Pokemon available. And I'm just going to wait for a minute for this to start cooperating again, so... Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. I should not jinx it, but I think we're good. Okay, so let's start going over the Pokemon available. There are 2 Pokemon in this route, and they're both brand new Pokemon. One right here, Rattata. It is a generic normal type Pokemon. This is basically the poster boy of all generic normal type Pokemon. And you can see its base stats. It's not that good. Its defense is blech. Its special attack is blech. Its HP is bad, which combined with 70 special defense means it's not going to take special hits that well either. 97 speed isn't bad, and 81 special attack is okay. I thought it was safe. I thought I was safe from it. But the big thing about Rattata is its low evolution level. Level 20 is not that far off. I mean, it's still a bit off, but it's a lot earlier than most Pokemon will reach their final evolution. If you choose to get a Rattata early, then you will have a pretty powerful Pokemon. Eradicate will be pretty powerful for the point in the game you will have it at. By the time you evolve it. I cannot word things properly. Not only that, but being a generic normal types tend to learn a wide variety of moves, and Rattata has that in spades. You'll have to teach it through TMs, which are one-use items that teach moves. And then after that, they're gone. But, so, you would want to use it carefully. I wouldn't really teach Rattata unless you planned on using it as a permanent party member. But to give you an idea, this thing can shoot lightning bolts, breathe powerful blasts of fire. I believe it can shoot blizzards and even cause tidal waves. But my favorite thing is that in the original Red and Blue games, or Red and Green for you people out there who were like, oh, Red and Green were first. Which you're not wrong, technically. But just imagine Rattata and Raticate, which hopefully its sprite is on screen right now. I want you to imagine that thing blowing bubbles from its mouth. Yeah, it can learn Bubble Beam through TM, and I think that's absolutely hilarious. I don't know why, but the mental image of Eradicate using Bubble Beam is just one of the funniest things to me. Okay, here's the next Pokemon, Pidgey. If Rattata is your generic normal type, then Pidgey is your generic flying type. I believe actually in my in my original attempt at this, I said, which I did almost a year ago, I talked about how I thought Pidgey wasn't that bad. A lot of people like to use it. It's definitely one of the more well-known Pokemon. And it's not exactly offensive, it's more defensive compared to most flying types, and I still stand by that. But I've tried using one recently in Pokemon Let's Go, and I looked into its stats and stuff further, and wow! Pidgey in its line is probably one of the most underwhelming Pokemon I have ever used. Like, I feel bad for saying this, but honestly, I just find Pidgey to be very underwhelming. There's another flying type that will be coming up very shortly that I believe is much better than Pidgey, but that's just me. If you want a flying type that has a bit more bulk to it, then I highly recommend getting Pidgey. But other than that, if you want like a Pokemon with flying attacks, then, well, or a flying Pokemon that is an attacker, wait a few seconds, okay? What else I have to say about Pidgey is that it has a very shallow move pool. It's just going to learn moves that are of its type. It's not really going to learn a bunch of variety of moves. And sometimes you don't really need any more than just that. Yeah, there's an item back here, by the way. But I often found that my issue with Pidgey is that it's just using the same two moves over and over, and it's just not that good. One thing I do like about Pidgey, though, is that it learns Feather Dance, which can be good for trying to tank stuff because I believe it harshly lowers the opponent's attack. But yeah, overall, I think Pidgey is just okay. If you come over here to Route 22, there are 2 more Pokemon to get. If you are playing the original Red and Blue, this next Pokemon we'll be talking about, it does appear right here, is exclusive to Red. However, in the remakes Fire Red and Leaf Green, it can be found here in both versions. Mankey is a pure fighting type Pokemon. Yeah, that thing will scratch your eyes out. The thing about this Pokemon is that it is fast. Like, super, super fast. It is the fastest fighting type you will have access to in this game. Not counting some possible post-game Pokemon I'm not thinking of, but I'm pretty sure I'm right regardless of that. But definitely in the main game, you are not going to get access to a faster Mon. I want to take this Mankey out, but I also kind of want to catch it, but I guess I'm taking it out because I want the experience. Because we are low level. There is a fight coming up that I'm probably going to do horribly. Oh, but Leech Seed is really good. Okay, yeah, I really like Leech Seed. It basically slowly drains the opponent's health over time, and at the end of every turn, the opponent will lose a little health, you will gain a little health. I love it. I think it's an amazing move. It's one of the things I love keeping on Bulbasaur always. And it's a move I definitely recommend. Mankey, what I find hilarious about Mankey is that it has a wide TM variety. Just like as I talked about with Rattata, it can learn Thunderbolt, it can learn Fire. I believe it can learn Fire Blast at least. I'm going to need to try and catch this or else I'm going to die. But unfortunately, with moves like Thunderbolt, that sounds great. It sounds like great coverage. And it would only really work on Pokemon that are like really frail and weak to it. Because Mankey has bad special attack, but really good attack. Mankey is a solid hitting Pokemon, and I have never used it myself, but I could see I could see it being really useful. The only thing is that compared to other fighting types you could possibly get, it's frail. The other Pokemon that is new to that route is the other flying type I was referring to, Spearow, which evolves into its final evolution at a much earlier level. It technically stays at its first evolution longer since it doesn't have a third evolution. So Pidgey will evolve into its second form Pidgeotto faster than Spearow will reach Fearow, but 2 level difference, not that much. Immediately you notice Fearow has a higher attack, much faster. Those like 9 to 10 points really does make a difference. It is frail, it is a glass cannon essentially, but you're going to get that high of a stats earlier than you would with Pidgeot. Where the stats you saw with Pidgeot, you're not getting that until like mid-game. the stats you see with Fearow, you're going to get that early mid-game. The only other real negative I have to say about this one is that it has a shallow move pool like its Flying Brethren. You're really going to only be using normal and flying type moves with this one. And it can learn Steel Wing. And it can also learn Pursuit, but I wouldn't recommend that since its special attack is bad and Dark is considered special in this generation. Ultimately, but I like Fearow. I really like Fearow. I think it's a good Pokemon, and if you're looking for an offensive flying type, look no further. This is the Mon you want. I want to catch a Spearow because there are benchmarks at certain points where you need a certain number of Pokemon in order to obtain an item. And yeah, Rattata can be found on this route as well. But I'm not finding Spearow, and I don't want to delay here too. Oh, hey, Spearow, there you are. Good timing, good timing. Shall I name you Speary after the Spearow in that house? I didn't even know there was a Spearow named Speary. Makes sense. There's an Ampharos named Amphi. So I think I'm just going to catch this, and I will meet you guys in a second. Okay, I'm going to try this once, and if not, I'm going to come back later for this. But should you head this way, you'll find your rival. Hey, Kukomi, you're off to the Pokemon League? Forget about it. You probably don't have any badges, do you? The guard won't let you through without them. By the way, did your Pokemon get any stronger? I was talking in kind of like a half-oak voice. Yeah, that's right. Our rival Leaf, will challenge us to another fight. And he has, the first Pokemon he has is Pidgey, level 9 with the ability Keen Eye, which I believe means its accuracy cannot be lowered. Crap, I thought this Pidgey had Growl on it. Well, crap. I'm opening up because I'm going to need to use cheap degenerate stats. Wow, I cannot speak. Good to know things haven't changed since I've recorded stuff. Strats, I'm gonna have to use cheap degenerate strats if I want to get through this fight, since my strongest Pokemon is a level 7 Bulbasaur. Oh boy. Yes, Pidgey level 9 ability for a Keen Eye for its ability with the moves Tackle, Sand Attack, and Gust. Sand Attack is probably one of the most annoying moves in existence. It lowers your accuracy when it hits you. Gust is a really weak flying type move. I would be afraid of it, but I'm not really afraid of it. Also, did you know, in the original Red, Blue, and Green, it doesn't have Tackle. It also doesn't have the ability, Keen Eye, because abilities just weren't a thing. My goal with this was to use my weaker Pokemon as sort of fodder to set up on Pidgey, and then use a Leech Seed. And oh god, oh no. Okay, well I got the Leech Seed at least. I'm gonna start doing damage. I don't think Leaf has a potion to use against us. Also, Leaf has the Fire Starter now when I have the Grass Starter. It's so unfitting, You can hear how amusing it is in my voice. So definitely what I'm going to need to start doing is just start lowering its attack and draining its HP. Because even if it used Gust then, or Tackle, I could just completely bypass it. I don't know about stat debuffs, but I know critical hits will completely bypass any buffs. Thankfully, I can literally just stall out and watch as its health slowly drains from its body. That begs the question, is Tackle doing as much damage as it's healing me? Because yeah, I think it did 3 damage there, and then I healed for 3 damage. Yeah, so I'm sort of stuck at this limbo right here. But that's okay, that's what potions are for. Yes, is this totally cheap, degenerate, and not fun at all for anyone involved? Pretty much. But I'm taking on this fight with my strongest Pokemon being a level 7 Bulbasaur, and he has 2 Pokemon that have type effectiveness against me that are both level 9. Not to spoil his next Pokemon or anything. Okay, so yeah, I just want to go with Tackle. I might miss, but that's okay. And it should just heal me here. There we go. Oh, whoa, that actually... Okay, well, Oh, that probably means I'm not going to get all the health back because Leech Seed, healing, and just healing moves in general are based on the damage you actually did, not damage you potentially have done. So probably because I had less health, and it heals like half of that health. I should get a level from this because it's 2 levels higher than me, and it's the beginning of the game. And his second Pokemon will be Charmander, level 9. And if you're playing the original Red, Blue, and Green, it'll be level 8. Same goes for any of his starters. And it'll have the ability Blaze, which I believe I talked about in the last part, but just in case, when its health is low, its fire-type moves will be powered up. I am afraid of this thing. This is the one I'm fearing. I definitely want to get Leech Seed off. Oh, but I have lowered accuracy. You know, I'm going to have to risk going to Rattata here and hoping Rattata can survive a hit. Or, it's fine if it doesn't. Its moves are Scratch, Growl, and Ember. And I don't know why it opted for Scratch instead of Ember, because Ember is much stronger on it. I don't know if its special attack is particularly higher because I don't have its stats memorized, but also fun fact, I believe Charmander only has Ember in the remakes. In the originals, he doesn't have Ember for some reason. However, at least I don't have it written. I have like my notes out right next to me, and I have it written down that Bulbasaur and Squirtle, if owned by the rival, will have Bubble and Leech Seed respectively. Bubble and Ember being weak elemental attacks, and Leech Seed just being a slow, life-draining monster. I guess he's afraid to use Ember. He should have it. I have it down here unless my notes lied to me. But I don't have it down that Squirtle only had Bubble in the remakes and Bulbasaur only had Leech Seed in the remakes. So it would seem odd to give Squirtle, Bubble, and Bulbasaur in the original Pokemon, in the original version of this fight, but not give Charmander its signature, or not signature, but its elemental attack. But then again, this is also the original Pokemon we're talking about, where there's plenty of baffling decisions. We really just had to look at that and say, what? Are we actually going to get this? Is it not going to use Ember? It should have Ember. I'm pretty sure this thing has Ember. What? Okay. And Ember would have done a lot since it also was in Blaze range, but I guess not. That fight went a lot better than I thought. I think that on my second recording of this, actually, I lost this fight on the initial take. And I had to grind a little. And I even had a Pidgey that was on level. I was going to actually use Squirtle and get a move on. So basically, what Leaf is saying is that over here is the gate to the Pokemon League. This place where all these strong trainers gather around and fight. Pokemon League, front gate. However, we need badges in order to get through the gate. It just won't let any random schmuck walk through. Case in point, only truly skilled trainers are allowed through. You don't have the Boulder badge yet. Rules are rules, I can't let you pass. Well, I guess we'll just have to find this Boulder badge then. But that gives us a goal to shoot for that's not the Pokédex. A goal that might actually be how this game charts progression. Yeah, you could say the first Pokemon game is really open-ended and whatnot, and well, we'll save this topic for another time. Really, I think we're just gonna wrap up here. We're gonna go and heal. Though I think we'll go see the grumpy old man one more time before we call it quits for today. And as we approach, we see he's up and on his feet. We talk to him. Well, now that I've had my... Oh, I don't even know what voice I was trying to do there. Well, now that I've had my coffee, and that's what I need to get... I can't even read sentences properly. Well, now I've had my coffee, and that's what I need to get going. What's that red box you have? So you're working on your Pokédex. Then let me give you a word of advice. Whenever you catch a Pokemon, the Pokédex automatically updates its data. You don't know how to catch a Pokemon? I'm a guy, I have 4 Pokemon I just caught. I suppose I'd better show you then! I believe he stops you and shows you this tutorial even if you try to go past them. And hey, look, a Pokemon we haven't gotten yet. What will the old man do? Fight. I want to see the old man fight. And I'm sure to anyone looking at this right now, you're reminded of a special little glitch in the original games that involved this little tutorial. Unfortunately, for those of you who do not know, that glitch is not possible in the remakes because you can only view this fight right here and right now. You cannot view it again in the future. Also, these games are much better coded than the originals. There! Now tell me that was educational, was it not? Not at all. Like, serious. I mean, I guess a little, but you didn't weaken it at all. You might as well have been playing Pokemon Go or Let's Go. And here, take this too. We get the Teachy TV. It is a tutorial. And this is something I really like about Fire Red and Leaf Green. That the tutorial, it won't stop you to give you tutorials, but rather it gives you an item that will give you the over-intrusive tutorials if you really want it. It's really neat. I like it. I wish Pokemon still did this so we wouldn't have some of the atrocities we have in some of the newer Pokemon games. Sun and Moon Tutorial Island. What? I didn't say anything. If you say you wanted to learn something like, I want to learn how to catch Pokemon, it'll actually just start playing a program and go, hey, all you trainers out there! Hello, trainers! Come on, let me hear it. I'm not screaming. It is literally past midnight. I don't want to wake up my entire house. It's me, the Pokedude. Today, the Pokedude's going to show you how to catch Pokemon. Just imagine a groovy Pokemon suddenly appearing in the wild. Oh, you want it. You can't just help it. You can't just help it. What was I reading? I cannot read. Oh, you have to catch it. You gotta have it. Let me show you how it happens. And yeah, you can press B to stop it immediately. So I guess the groovy dude is never, or the Pokedude's never going to get his groovy Pokemon. Well, that's all. Actually, no. I want to check out one more thing. Yeah, one more thing. You know what? Okay, this is a story I need to tell. Viridian Pokemon Gym. Pokemon Gym is always closed. I wonder who the leader is. Yeah, if you try to go in, the door will be locked. I need to tell this story right now. My mom, whenever my family goes out, my mom will always add one more stop after we go somewhere. So we'll be like done at a restaurant about to go home and my mom goes, oh, we need to stop by here really quick so I can pick up something. So my sister and I have this ongoing joke that my mom always adds one more stop. It's always, oh, one more stop, one more stop. And I just realized I was kind of doing the same thing and now I hate myself for it. Yep. So we realized that the only other really interesting landmark here is locked off. We can't do anything about it. So next time on Pokemon Fire Red, we'll be heading north in order to see what is past here and what we can find and more new Pokemon. Maybe even learn more about these badges. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time.